social learning, and psychology, which is brain structure and environment, influencing teaching and development strategies. Biological evidence, such as Broca's area in speech production and Wernicke's area in language comprehension, demonstrates that specific brain regions underpin language, highlighting its nature aspect.
Okay, next I'm gonna talk about the nurture aspect of language. Language is just something we're born with. We learn it through interaction. Skinner said kids learn by imitating adults, then getting feedback like praise or correction. Vygotsky and Brenner add that language grows from social interaction. Children learn by talking with others like parents, teachers, even friends. Brenner also believed that culture gives language its meaning. And let's not forget the role of family and society. They create the first language environment, shaping how kids speak, listen, and connect. So, in the end, language is learned with others through everyday social life.
Hi guys, so the next one I will be explaining about comparative studies in learning English in nature versus nurture. So, the first one I will be talking about twin studies. Are language skills in our genes or not? Well, researchers look at twins to find out how much language comes from our genes. Identical twins shares about 100% all of their genes together, while fraternal twins share about half of it, around 50%. When both kinds grow up in the same environment, any differences in language ability may come from genetics. Studies shows that genes matter, especially for kids learning a second language or kids with language disorder. One study found that about 52% to 72% of second language learning ability is genetic. But don't forget, the environment also matters. Kids who grow up in rich language environments often develop stronger skills, no matter about their genes. So the answer is both genes and environments play a role in language development. The second, we will be talking about the critical period hypothesis. Is there a best time to learn language? So there's a theory called the critical period hypothesis. It says there's a special window during childhood when it's easier to learn language. During this time, the brain is more flexible. As we got older, it's still possible, but it gets harder to learn grammar and sounds like a native speaker. So the second one, I will be talking about the critical period hypothesis. Is there a best time to learn a language? So there's a theory called the critical period hypothesis that says there's a special window during childhood when it's easier to learn language. During this time, the brain is more flexible. But as we get older, it is still possible. But it's get harder to learn grammar and sounds like a native speaker. But here's the thing. No one agrees on the exact age the critical period ends. And it's not just age. It's also how much practice we get, how we learn, and why we want to learn the language. So, the learning young helps, but it's never too late. The third one, I will be talking about bilingual brains. What brains can show. Thanks to brain scans like fMRI, scientists can see how bilingual people's brains work. Easy bilinguals is people who learn two languages as kids use the same brain areas for both language. It's like the brain sees them as one system. But language bilinguals who learns later in life, not when they are younger, often use different brain parts for each language, especially for grammar and speaking. Why? Because learning earlier and in a natural way helps the brain combine both language. Learning in school later is still good, but the brain may treat each language separately. So, what's the big picture? Language Language learning is shaped by your genes, your age, and your environment, like home, when you're in school, or when you practice outside our home and school. You can learn language at any age, but the earlier and the more natural the learning, the easier it is for your brain to handle. So, there is how our brains and the environment and also genetic help us in learning language.
After learning about nature and nurture of language, we might wondering which one is more important. Is it nature side or nurture side that takes a role in shaping our language ability? Well, for a long time, expert has been debated about which one is more important. Is it nature side or nurture side? Chomsky believed that we as humans have a special part in our brain that called as LAD or language acquisition device so that we can learn language naturally. But on the other side, Skinner believed that our language ability is developed because we copy our environment or our society. But now many experts agree that language development is the interactions between nature and nurture of language. This is called as an interactionist approach. It says that we need both our brain's ability or the nature and the support from our environment or the nurture. So the answer to the question is both are important and work together. This idea also supported by Vygotsky and Jerome Bruner, while Vygotsky introduced the concept of Zone of Proximal Development or ZPD, where children learn best with more knowledgeable others like parents and teachers. And this is how social support or the nurture can develop brain potential or nature. This idea also supported by Vygotsky and Jerome Bruner. Vygotsky introduced the concept of ZPD or Zone of Proximal Development, where children learn best with the help from someone more experienced, or we call it as more knowledgeable others, like teachers and parents. This shows how social support or the nurture can develop brain potential on the children or the nature. Bruner added the idea of Language Acquisition Support System or LASS, which means caregivers support children's language learning through routines and simple speech. So, language is not just from nature or nurture only, but from the interaction between nature and nurture. We are born with the ability, but we need social input to activate and shape it. They work like a team. In fact, some scientists even say that we see as natural today might be the result of learning passed down through generations, meaning our genes carry the memory of past nurture. In conclusion, language develops through a complex mix of nature, our biological abilities or our brain, and psychological skills like memory and attention, and also social interactions, our environment or our society. These factors are all connected. So, to truly understand how we learn language, we need to see the whole picture, not just one side. Nurture and nature cannot be separated, they work together.
Hi everyone, I'd like to discuss the implication in education and language therapy, focusing on how we can best support language development in children, whether for their first or second language acquisition. Next, we will consider the role of family and school in language development. Families provide constant exposure and meaningful interaction in a child's home language, which is fundamental for language acquisition. Both family and school environments offer structure, input, and social context essential for language use and practice. Effective collaboration among parents, teachers, and therapists ensures a consistent language-rich environment, maximizing the child's opportunities for growth. Moving on to designing language curriculum for children. A language curriculum must consider both the child's innate capacity for nature and nurture. The curriculum should prioritize extensive exposure, varied social interaction, and meaningful communication. It's important to recognize critical periods in childhood where children acquire language most readily. Early interventions and consistent exposure are key for leveraging the sensitive period. Finally, let's explore strategies for second language learning. Nurture-based strategies such as immersive experience and contextual learning have proven highly effective for L2 acquisition. We must also account for underlying cognitive abilities such as working memory and phonological processing, which significantly impact language learning. Incorporating multisensory techniques and ensuring cultural relevance and lessons can significantly enhance acquisition and engagement.
That's all from us. Thank you.